y'all doing tonight? You're all right.
Just all right.
Sounded lukewarm. So, we feeling tired? The evening's dragging on.
Yeah, but it's only Saturday, though. You got one more day of this, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Party going.
yeah, this is our... Hello.
Oh, sorry. I didn't did I? Oh.
No, you're just in time.
It's just heavy. Jesus. I got it. You're good. Sorry. Continue.
No, please. So this is our dual Q&A.
Yeah.
I'm Justin
Let's
Briner.
duel.
Oh,
I freaking love Yu-Gi-Oh.
you do? Really?
Yes.
You play the card game?
I did when I was a kid, but then my mom sold all my cards.
No!
So that was very disappointing.
My mom made me give my Pokemon cards to like a family friend.
Oh.
I was like, why?
Why,
I want
though?
those.
That hurts, honestly.
True.
'Cause-
Nah, she did the old, you don't even know how to play that game. I'm like, hey!
How dare!
You're right though, you're right though.
How dare! No, I mean that's when you make up the rules with your friends. You make it work.
My Charizard wins.
Right.
Okay? I use Fire Blast.
Right.
I dodged that attack.
Oh, I totally dodged that.
I dodged that one. Okay. So, I'm Justin Briner. Hello.
Hi, I'm Morgan Berry.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes.
Say like what you do, what you're all about?
Yeah, ma'am. Hello. I am a voice actress and singer and YouTuber. I voice for 13 in My Hero Academia. And Madame Charlie in One Piece. Silver Sable in Marvel Avengers Academy. The Smite World Championship Amaterasu skin in Smite.
I'm sorry.
Preach! Smite. And a few others. Feel free to look it up on Anime News Network. So yeah.
It's the good resource. And I'm Justin Briner. I mostly am known for anime work and Funimation. You might know me from Space Patrol Luluko, Drifters, Nanbaka, Seraph at the End, or My Hero Academia. So, it doesn't seem like we have any, let's just raise hands, I guess. Yeah, play by ear. Hi, hello again.
What are your favorite Pokemon?
I like Vulpix. I was overjoyed when I got that Alola form. I was like, ooh, yes.
I love that. Dude, gorgeous. I love Eevee. And I
Aw.
just, and I love all the Eevee versions, of course.
Hey.
Yes. But I don't, Eevee doesn't have to change for me. I love Eevee just like
Eevee was fine, just normal.
exactly.
Whatever it was.
Which is why I show extra love to Eevee.
That's good. Little Eevee. Ooh, anyone?
Everybody put your hands up. Up in the club.
What's your favorite game to play, like online?
Online?
Yeah.
Well,
like,
Elder Scrolls Online is always fun. Dude, and I love Skyrim. I love role-playing games, They're so much fun. You can be someone else, It's great. I can be a mage. I can have fire power, I love it.
Oh, I've just been playing Hearthstone and getting real angry at it. This meta is messed up. And they're gonna change it, and the nerfs are gonna come through, and then we're gonna get a brand new messed up meta. And I'll get real mad at that too. Yes!
Yeah. Rage.
Yes! In the way back! You there!
I love Voltron. Sorry, let me go off here. Lance is best boy. I'm sorry, I love Lance. Woo! Yes! I love Lance so much, but I also love Keith, and I ship them. I'm not gonna lie. Like, dude. Yeah, sorry. I love my boy Lance. He's my all-time favorite. I love Voltron. I could go on and on, but I will let you guys continue asking.
I like the robot.
That is Voltron!
Yeah.
It's all of them combined! So that was a good answer.
Thank you. Right. No
it's like-
middle response.
Right, like you don't even have to say, choose. You just say, oh, I love Voltron.
They're
Voltron's
best
my
all
favorite.
together. The power of friendship.
Right? Yeah. And even if you don't know the series, you could just say, well, Voltron's my favorite.
Yeah, Voltron's the best one.
Just slide your way through it, Yes, I love it.
Hello?
Hi,
Yes.
what's your best girl in Love Life?
Best girl in Love Live? Obviously, Yoshiko. It's Yohane! You gotta say the line because she hates it when people call her Yoshiko, for those of you who don't know. Her name is Yohane, and she has to do the pose. She gets so angry when people call her Yoshiko, and so I love her. So she's my favorite. Huh?
What about in Muse?
Oh, and Muse? Ooh. Well, that's a little harder. With Sunshine, that was easy to answer because obviously I'm a little biased. But in the original, Nico? She's very similar to Johanna. So. Nico. I can't even do it. I love her.
So I was just wondering, like, what inspired you guys to go into this specific form of acting? Like, why not actual acting? Sorry.
What is actual acting to you?
Just because I myself am an actor.
Are you an actual actor?
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, he's calling you out!
I'm just curious.
Just a different form.
Theater, and I was wondering, why voice acting specifically?
So a lot of what I found restrictive about musical theater and stage work, which is a lot of my background, was that I'm not going to get cast as someone who doesn't look like a 5'10" skinny white guy, basically. Like, the power of makeup can only go so far. Through voiceover, as long as you can, purvey a character and make it sound lived in and lifelike, then you can be anything.
Right.
You can be all kinds of aliens. You could be a robot, a chicken android or something. You could be a monster, a beast of some kind. So I've really enjoyed the flexibility that voiceover allows me.
Yeah, I mean, I just stumbled into it. I did mostly on stage acting and a little bit of on camera, and then I just stumbled into voiceover just after winning a voiceover competition. I won. I got my first audition at Funimation, and then from there on, it just it was fun, and
Wild.
it's great because I voice for a lot of young boys. I'm obviously not a young boy. I am a grown woman. But it's great that I can be something I'm not in reality, you know?
Yeah, it's just less restrictive. The
Yes.
constraints aren't there.
Right.
Which I think is really great.
Yeah, also you don't have to memorize the script. It's
Ah,
right there.
yes.
That's always nice because memorization's hard. So.
That's why I stopped being an actual actor a long time ago. I'm over that.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's
That's just different.
I totally get what you mean.
Right, it's just
all
different
good.
forms of acting. We understand, it's fine.
Hey,
Hey, what's the worst job that you did voice acting-wise?
Voice acting?
it's like a bad voiceover job.
Like, there was a voice acting song. What's your worst role?
Can you say that last part again?
What's the worst role that you ever did, in your opinion?
I don't know that I can answer that because I've never had a role that I've actively disliked.
Me neither.
Anyone that I've gotten to play so far, I might not resonate with them right away,
Right.
but there's always usually some part of their character that I can relate to either right away or learn to understand about them.
Yeah.
If I'm inhabiting a character of any kind, it doesn't really behoove me to dislike them. Like, I can understand why other characters or the audience would dislike them, but I gotta be there and play their truth, which is that they're awesome and not a bad person at all.
Right.
So that's just my take on it. I genuinely can't think of an experience, at least in character voiceover, that I've had a character that I actively disliked to play.
Yeah.
Every opportunity kind of brings its own little new challenges, which is the part that I love about this.
Yeah, and even with villain roles, you step into the character, so you resonate with their cause. And so their heart is your heart. And so you can't really bring yourself to dislike them because you resonate with them, So I have no complaints.
Yeah, sorry.
You like what you do, and you like the character you did, so that's good.
For sure, yeah. Oh, I'm thankful for it, believe me. Hey,
Have you played Doki Doki Literature Club? And if so, who is your favorite girl?
I've seen a Let's Play of it. I believe it was Markiplier. Maybe it was. Maybe. I don't. I saw Let's Play. And I can't really choose because I don't remember the names. So
Oh.
but it was interesting. It was quite the game. Things took a turn very quickly, dude. I can't even put it into words. It's a strange one, but it's good. It's good.
I downloaded it a long time ago and I never played it. So. They said it's free. I'm like, oh, I can afford free. Give me that. I haven't played it yet. Probably because it was free. And I'm like, I'll just pick it up some other time. I hear it's pretty wild though.
Yeah.
But what do I know?
Justin, is there going to be a series of the end season 3 coming out soon?
Unfortunately, I will be the last one to know, I'm certain. I think that the way that they left season 2 off, sort of like ambiguous cliffhangery, was their way of saying, we need to wait for the material to build up again, because as I recall, they were pretty close to catching up with the manga back then, and it only comes out monthly, so you don't get the, the weekly Shonen Jump chapters every week. So yeah, I mean, I'm very hopeful for it. The WIT Studio has done similar things with Attack on Titan, where they'll do a long season and take a year or two off, let it build up again, and then make a really tight season again. So I would say my fingers are crossed. I think that it's definitely not out of the realm of possibility. But I'll be the last one to know. They'll be like, "Oh, can you come in for Seraph of the End season 3?" I'll be like, "What?"
Right? Yeah, we're never the first to know.
No.
We're always the last. Yeah.
Is there a character in the show that you're a part of that you don't voice and like try?
I don't really like to answer that kind of question because my actor brain is like, wow, so that person got a role, they're working, they're trying their best to perform, and I wouldn't want to get in the way of that. Like, for me to think of other roles that people are playing proficiently, for me to think like, I could do that, or why I can step in and do that, I think. Just sort of feels like the competition's already so tough in voiceover. And I know this is not the kind of question you're asking, but I can never find an adequate answer because everything I choose is like, well, so-and-so would be out of work if I did that.
Yeah.
So-and-so is doing an excellent job. Certainly, of course, there are other characters and things I think I could play, but I tend not to dwell on things like that very often. I apologize. I know what you're trying to ask, but I just can't ever think of anything.
Well, I mean, I do have one, but here's the thing, I don't want to get attached. There are some characters that you're just like, oh, I would love to voice for them, like shows that don't have a dub, but you don't want to get attached because you might get your heart broken. And that's okay, it's happened. It's okay, it happens. It's okay, I'm proud for whoever got it, it's all good. But there is one show that does not have a dub, Hitman Reborn. Yes! Yes! Why does it not have a dub? Nobody knows. It's like in limbo when it comes to, I don't know, a dub contract. I don't know. I don't know when it will ever get a dub. But I would love to voice for Suna because he's my boy and I love the show. So if I had an answer, that would be the one. And hopefully it gets a dub. Whether it's Funimation or another company that gets it, I just want it to have a dub. But it would be nice to be in that, because it is a great series.
I want to be a Pokemon. That's all.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my childhood dream.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Yes, that's another good answer. I want to be a Pokemon. And a Pokemon trainer. Like, dude. Yeah, live the dream, man. The American dream. Being a Pokemon trainer. That's it.
That's the peak.
The world dream.
Way in the back. Hello.
I already did that, actually.
What did you do?
I cosplayed as a gingerbread Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul.
Oh.
And dude, I love me some Kaneki. I love Tokyo Ghoul so much. So yeah.
I want to be Robbie Rotten from Lazy and get the prosthetic chin and just mug everyone and stare at them no, just
Wait,
bargains.
Wait, what? The what?
Robbie Rotten from Lazy Town. Do you remember that we were number one song?
Yeah.
Everyone, it was a meme, and I was like, wait.
saw that.
I watched this show as a kid.
Dude, I never watched that as a kid. Like, my mom didn't let me watch a lot of things.
It was about what? But it was. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I know, it was weird. My mom was strange that way.
Uh-huh.
She, at one point, she forbid me from ever watching Pokemon, and I was like, what?
It's the devil's work.
I was obsessed, and she just cut me off, and I was like, no. But she let me watch Yu-Gi-Oh, and they sent people to the Shadow Realm. Come on now. They killed people.
You're right. You know now they were dying
Right. They was dead.
over
y'all.
a game.
Right. A children's card game.
I'd lose just about half of the games I play in Hearthstone. So
Oh, no.
I'd be like,
Imagine.
goodbye.
Bye.
I'll challenge you.
Bye, Felicia.
Oh no, wait, I drew all the wrong cards.
Oh, no.
Okay. Part of the cards, please. Oh no.
Oh, I failed you.
But everyone cheated in that game too.
Oh, it's true.
So, we'll see.
Every time.
Who knows?
Have you ever rage quit the game? Like, it could be any game, like video game, card game.
I don't think I've ever thrown my controller down and been like, I hate this game. That's enough. But I've definitely reached a point where I'm like, I'm gonna step away. We're gonna try this another time. Oh, if I do this level one more time and die, I'm gonna go berserk.
Yeah. I've had moments like that, like, I don't know, Crash Bandicoot. There's, you know, and there are some times where I'm just like, I just can't do it, and I have to take a break, and then I come back and I do it, and I'm like, well, I should have taken a break earlier. Sometimes Jack and Daxter. I love replaying that one.
Platformers, alright.
It's fun.
No, I dig that. Yes.
Was there any other jobs you were thinking of doing before you became a voice actor?
I briefly entertained. Well, I shouldn't say briefly. I trained to do like musical theater and stage work in like ideally Broadway, but that's always so competitive. But I've never imagined myself doing anything other than like something performative or entertainment-wise. Like even what I studied in college was basically behind the scenes entertainment production stuff, because that's just a world I've always wanted to be a part of. I can't imagine myself doing anything else. I don't think I'm much good at anything else vocation-wise, so I put my eggs in a basket for this one, and just really trained my heart out and tried my best. Because I can't imagine doing anything else. This is the kind of work that I love.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you want to be an actor, I've heard Alexis Tipton once said, like, if you could picture yourself doing anything else other than acting, do that instead. Because like your heart has to be all in, and like honestly, I couldn't picture myself doing anything else either. I love every aspect of the performing arts, like behind the scenes and on camera, on stage, all of it. And I used to direct shows and stuff, and just the performing arts in general, every part of it, I'm in love with it. So I've always loved that.
Yeah.
There's nothing else I'd rather be doing.
No, and like I've held other jobs and have just felt miserable. Like I've worked in the office environment and was, well, to each their own.
Yeah.
There are people who thrive in it. I was not one. Mm-mm. Yes.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
How's it going?
Had a quick question. For voice acting, when you do it on a weekly basis and it can get very stressful to certain things like screaming, yelling. How do you guys maintain your voices and do you have any special tricks or traits for maintaining your voice over a long
How do we maintain our voice?
So there are a couple elements that go into this. One is you should always maintain an adequate level of hydration, because if you dry out or drink a lot of coffee before sessions, guilty. Someone will dry. Your vocal cords get dried out, and then it becomes much more easy for them to, when you're doing the rough stuff, they rub up against each other, they get inflamed, and then you really start to feel bad. It's my opinion. This might be contentious, that if you're shredding your voice up for something, you are not taking care of your voice well enough in that moment. for a lot of screaming and shrieking and stuff. And I'm not always called in for the type that's like loud and brash and crazy. But I was taught early on to treat like screaming as though I were singing. The same placement, the same support, and then you can make it sound blood-curdling, but all of the elements and the technique are still aligned so that you're not hurting yourself. It's just the illusion of that feeling or the pain or the misery, whatever you're trying to convey in that moment. So if you're trying to practice that, or that's something you're interested in growing, I would work on your breath support. I would work on breath control, not running out of breath too long or being able to hold a breath for an extended period of time. And then start small. Do not try to like barge into territory that you're not qualified for yet, because you'll hurt yourself. And then that's less work down the road because you've damaged your instrument.
Yeah, and then sometimes when you get sick, one time I had laryngitis. Whoo! Y'all don't want to get laryngitis when you're a singer. Holy crap! Because when you sing, the notes don't come out how they're supposed to, and the only key to having laryngitis is going on vocal rest. And so, resting your vocals is very important, especially when you're sick. Throat coat is a good is a tea that throats your coats your throat. And so that's whenever you're dealing with a especially rough vocal day, drinking throat coat tea helps. And there's this also this Chinese cough syrup. How do you pronounce it?
It's peipakuoa or something, but it's honey loquat syrup.
Yeah. That's also really good, and it doesn't taste bad. I remember Dawn, the first time I tried it, Dawn was like, "Oh, it tastes awful, but try it." And I'm
it's
like,
quite good.
Look,
Yeah.
it is. And I tried it, just put it on a spoon, let it just slip down your throat, and I was like, "This tastes like minty. It doesn't taste bad at all."
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's another solution. There's different remedies that can help protect and coat your throat. So.
Yeah, everyone's got a different process, but that's exactly what you're mentioning with the throat coat and the
Tongue
syrup.
twisters to warm up your voice. That's another one.
Yeah, you can do a lot of like preventative maintenance after the fact. If you feel like you've exhausted your voice, then you can go on vocal rest and not take care of that and heal it back. And just to really quickly iterate on the point that you made about the week to week, that's something we got to be very conscious of. Sometimes we don't show up week to week. Sometimes it's one appearance, and then 10 weeks later we're like, oh, come back.
Right.
But if you're doing something consciously week to week, then you need to make sure that you're on a schedule that's not gonna burn you out, not gonna make you sick, and that you're not doing too much outside of your work that's going to inhibit your voice. No like screaming at concerts, no stuff like that.
Screamo concerts.
Don't drink that whole bottle of whiskey before bed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Sing out, Louise.
Yeah. I mean, I do have a story.
Yeah, go ahead.
When I was recording for Eld Live, which, by the way, Eld Live was created by Akira Amano, who's also the creator of Hitman Reborn. Love, love, love! When Sunny cast me as the lead in that, I flipped out. I was like, oh my gosh, I know what this is!
Yeah, that's a super cool part.
I love it so much. Well, we had a lot of fun. Sunny is freaking hilarious. Well, this story is a little bit scary, actually. Okay, so here's what happened. Sunny, there was this sound effect that plays during the transitions within the show, and it sounds like a fart. It just sounds like a fart. There's no getting around it. And it's throughout the show, just as a transition sound. And well, Sunny decided to copy and paste that and just kind of place it without letting me know. And so, I'm about to come in with my lines. You hear the beeps, beep, 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 and then you come in to say your line. Well, there was this one particular scene that he decided to place that little sound effect on. And it's when my character's walking, and this pretty girl walks by. And so she's walking by with sparkles behind her hair. He's walking and he goes, like he's just so like, oh, it's her. But like that's when the sound effect came in, like, and then he's just like, it just went perfectly. And I laughed so hard because I didn't expect it. Well, our sound engineer laughed so hard as well. We were all laughing, and suddenly he stands up and he's like, and he falls. He falls and he doesn't get up. And so we're all laughing. And Sunny's like, Nagiris. Nagiris? Nagiris! And so he gets down, and then like maybe a minute later, he's like, oh, what happened? He wakes up, and he's like, I heard music. And Sunny was like, yeah, you hit your head on my ukulele. And he's like, oh, that's what that was. So he passed out. Like, he legit laughed so hard he passed out. So that was scary, but it was hilarious at the same time. So there have been a lot of good moments recording for that show. And he's okay.
Yeah, it turned out all right.
Yeah.
He's dead. But it was pretty funny, right? I'm kidding. He's totally fine. I love that guy.
I love dark humor. That was great. Oh, he's dead now.
C'est la vie. Yeah, I don't find myself, laughing or anything or breaking character too much during my own lines unless I like flub them. But there are definitely times like right up to my cue, I'm cracking up and I gotta be like, okay. And yeah, you hit on something else too about like the heavy like emotional stuff. That sort of presents a different challenge. Like there have been times when I've had to really like something just messed up was going on in anime. Can you believe it? And God, I just blood-curdling screams. This whole scenario was horrible and messed up. And so I left that session. I'm like, please, no one talk to me for the next 5 minutes. I just need to decompress and not think about any of that. Because I carry some stuff out of the booth with me. I think it's natural that most actors do. You just have tapped into some emotion that wasn't active before. So there have definitely been times when I've recorded like really heavy stuff like that, and I'm like, I just need to be quiet and stare at a wall for a little bit, please, and I'll be fine again. But there's a balancing act of not taking that out on someone because it's not really what you're feeling. It's just what you're left with, the kind of emotional residue of someone else. Ugh. Someone's got a really good question. Oh, yes!
Yeah.
You're gonna have to scream. I'm sorry, we got Vocaloid behind us. It's my jam. There's a couple different avenues for Funimation specifically, and I feel this is probably the case for most ADR anime work. I was put on a waiting list and eventually called in for a general audition. It doesn't always have to be that. For the general audition, it was not for a show at all. It was basically just to have a great day. Bye. It was basically to extend the Funimation like acting troupe. We were trying to get more people in for simuldubs because there was just an abundance of work. And as I understand, that's sort of the way LA operates. Like they have a stable of actors that they pull from and then send auditions to from there. There have also been, in the case of like indie games, signing up for like a mailing list or something, and people will ask, hey, I'm searching for actors for so-and-so product. Can you pass along your information if you're interested? You can send it in that way. Other times, I've gotten work by people reaching out to me because of just predicated on prior work that I've done. So there's no easy answer for it. It's mostly just trying to cast a wide net, and then if you catch something, you got to be ready for it and 100% on target for your audition, because that's essentially the work of what we do, trying to book the role. Once we get the role, that's still work, but like, it's more of a process. We did the hard part of the job, in my opinion. So yeah, it can be a lot of things. Have you encountered anything like out of the ordinary audition-wise?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there is this. Now, sometimes I get offers to voice in things, and sometimes it ends up being a 12-year-old that just wants me to voice in their Minecraft roleplay. And I'm just like, oh, that's really sweet, but like, no.
You gonna pay me though?
Like, yeah, you gonna pay me though? Because I gotta pay rent. I'm sorry, child. But, and so one time somebody slipped into my DMs on Instagram. And their name is Gaylord, which is really cool. But like, I didn't know what to expect though. So they said, hey, so I have this thing I want you to voice in. And I was like, normally when I get those offers, I'm like, this isn't really a professional way to go about it, so I'm gonna say no. But I decided they sent me a YouTube link to the trailer, and I decided to be like, oh, I'll at least check it out. And so I clicked it, and I was like, the animation was freaking gorgeous. So I was like, you know what? This actually looks legit. I'm in. And so they're like, yeah, okay, and I can pay you too. And I'm like, oh, thank God. I can pay rent, I can feed myself this month. But yeah, it's called God School. And yeah, and I play the lead. And so she just cast me, and I was like, oh, well, thanks, because she heard my demo reel and she liked it. And so she's like, I think this is right for our lead goddess. And I was like, okay, cool. And the animation's freaking gorgeous. So look up God School on Instagram. Holy crap, I'm actually really excited about it. And I got that opportunity just through Instagram. I didn't expect to say yes to it, but I did, because it actually looks pretty legit. So I guess that's one way to get a role. So
Yeah,
reaching out to you
totally.
through social media.
I think you pinpointed something important, which is to do your research. If you're presented with something that doesn't seem, above the bar, you can. Some people are just not initiated in the ways of contacting talent. You know, they're coming from a different world.
That wasn't me.
No, it wasn't me.
Any other questions? Oh, we got new people coming in. Hello.
Welcome.
Oh, it's 7:02. So we got like 30 minutes, right?
Yeah, we're about halfway through. Good hustle, y'all.
Cool.
We've been doing great.
Yeah, more questions.
Who is your Overwatch main?
Oh, I mean, I have a friend who plays Overwatch, and she's freaking amazing. She was so good that they kicked her out of the team. Yeah, she like kept getting what do you call it? The play of the. Yeah, she kept getting it, and finally they just kicked her out. I'm like, oh, she's just too good at this. I love her. But I myself haven't played it, but I watch her play it all the time, and she's so amazing. I love her. Anyways, Tracer is freaking hot. So if I had to choose, it'd be Tracer.
When I played, I was really bad, so I played Soldier 76, and I went pew pew pew. And then I played Zenyatta, because people were like, can you just play support or something? You're really not cutting it. I'm like, well, I'm gonna play Zenyatta. So I was really no good at that game. Really, really, really trash. I think if I went back and tried to learn and do some like actual research, but gosh, I haven't played since they introduced the first new character. Yeah. I'm no good at that.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah.
Which roles have been some of the most fun for you to voice?
The most fun roles. Well, I mean, definitely being a superhero rocks. So, I don't know, 13 in My Hero Academia was a lot of fun. Woo, one of my favorite series. And then, of course, being frickin' Silver Sable in Marvel Avengers Academy, that was fun. Like, oh my gosh, Marvel! So, yeah. I mean, yeah. What about you?
Gosh, there have been a ton. I tend to have a lot of fun in the roles that I play. I mean, Izuku stands out just because I've spent a ton of time with him, and he really does go through emotional peaks and valleys, which is always a pleasure to try and explore. Luck from Black Clover has been a lot of fun in sort of the opposite direction, because he's so one note and just such a weird sociopath kid that I'm like, this is just fun. I get to say whatever I want and then pick a fight, and then that's it, and I'm smiling. And Nova in Luluco is really cool to be like the straight man to all of their crazy trigger antics. The perfect little child. Those definitely come to mind. I'm sure I can think of like dozens others, but we'd take all night. Yes.
Do you guys ever have to do like big voice acting for like a group?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Do you ever have to do like a group
Recording? Like singing? Like in a band singing or?
Like a prelay sort of stuff, but no,
Oh, no.
For what we do, unless it is like a walla session or something, which is the ancillary like voices that you hear in the background when you're walking down the street, and people are like, oh what?
Background noise. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I have to do my homework.
Right.
Yeah.
Then you're in the booth with probably about 3 of your different people. Otherwise, it is an extremely solitary experience. I'm in there alone in the booth, and the director and the engineer are outside, making it all work. So
Yeah, unless it's like for a crowd scene or a classroom scene or something like
sort
that.
of the sad thing about what we do is that I rarely get to interact with my castmates
Yeah.
unless we're doing something like this, or
Yep.
we like pass each other in the hallway. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
how are you doing? Okay, bye.
Right? Okay, bye. I have a session now.
Yeah. But no, I'd like to. That's definitely how they do it for the cartoons that I found really inspiring as a child. I'm just not part of that market.
One day.
Yep.
So are either of you are like a Marvel person or DC?
Marvel or DC?
Marvel. Marvel. All the way. What about you?
I'm DC.
Okay. I respect that.
Marvel's doing alright, I guess.
Just die.
They made a couple movies, but I was like, eh.
Justice is coming back.
Yes, Young Justice is coming back.
Hey. All right, more questions? It doesn't have to be about anime. It could be about other stuff. Blue, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Yes, Infinity War. No spoilers for some of the people that have not.
No.
What was the question?
Do you think the My Hero cast could take on Thanos? He's a titan from another world.
I love my babies, but no.
No.
They would be crushed.
They're just kids.
Just leave them alone. They're just kids. I don't want them.
No, that'd be a bad look, I think. That would not end well.
I was about to say a spoiler, but I'm
Ah.
not. I stopped myself.
I haven't seen it, but I got spoiled immediately about everything.
No.
Oh, they were
Who
so.
did it?
Everyone. The night of, everyone's like spoilers, but not really spoilers. What?
No, that's a spoiler, alright. More people were changing their profile pics, and I'm like, what's this? And then they explained it, and I'm like, oh, it's a
Oh,
spoiler.
and the meme started instantly.
Yeah, so
Like you can put it together.
Yeah. I luckily was not spoiled by it because I'm naive. I had no idea.
Oh, I was.
Oh.
I was spoiled up and down. It's fine.
It's not fine. It's sad. That's okay. You've recovered.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Next question.
So both of you have worked on Darling and the Franxx.
Yes.
How has your experience been voicing those characters?
It's fun. I voiced for young Goro. And yeah. Oh my gosh. The part where he got her a hairpin just for her. And then the other boy did the same thing. And so he's like, I can't give her a hairpin because he already gave it one to her. And I'm like, oh no. He loves her. He loves her. Yeah, so I mean, that scene was sad. I felt those emotions, because when a character you're voicing for is in love with another character, you instantly ship them, or at least I do. I'm just like, oh, get married. But so yeah, it was an emotional experience.
So I play 9 Alpha in Darling and the Franxx, who is like the leader of this group called the Nines, and they're all just sass masters. This touches on sort of something that we were talking about earlier about kind of finding what you like in the people that you hate. Like, this kid would be unbearable, I think. If you were a normal kid in this universe and you met 9 Alpha, you'd be like, who is this guy? What's your deal? But I have so much dang fun playing him because he's always just, I know more than you do. He teases them. He like talks down to the whole squad of the main characters, and I'm like, And now they introduced the squad of 9s that were all like when they did vocal references for those, they showed him a clip that I recorded earlier, so it's a bunch of people doing like bad Justin Briner impressions. I dig that character a lot, and I'm excited to cause more trouble.
You've had your hand up for a while in the back.
From which anime? Oh,
I honestly can't remember any of my lines.
okay, let's, yeah, I'm trying to think. Hold
Yeah,
on,
I don't
give me
know.
just 1 second.
Once we read it and we record it, we usually just forget it.
Yeah, it's a lot of text throughout the weeks.
Yeah.
I said something like, oh, no need to introduce ourselves. We'll meet again soon in due time, I'm sure. They were about to introduce my character, and he's like, no, I'll be back. All right.
Green hair. Yeah.
Hello.
For Justin, you know how you call article like sunshine?
Yeah.
That's like that's what they call it, like sunshine. You know, a lot of other animes they would just change to like Cabro or like
Right.
Like they would just change like why stick with Kanchan and if there were other options, what were they?
I think you sort of hit the nail on the head when you were like, normally it'd be translated to Cod Bro or Cod Dude or Cod my man.
Dude.
Kachan, even though it doesn't parse well in English language, it fits the diminutive sort of nickname for Kotsuki. And I can't think of an alternative that would have worked as well. I don't know that we even had any alternatives. I think that is just pretty much what we stuck with from the beginning, because everything else would have just sounded like, oh, I'm watching a dub. Oh, okay. Yeah, cop, bro. I'm gonna save you, dude.
Yeah, fam.
Yeah, fam. It just doesn't. I don't think it translates in the way that we don't have a similar diminutive way to address people in the same way that they do in Japanese language. So I think it was just easier to use that and understand that some people wouldn't get it right away. They'd be like, I don't know what that word means. But I think through the context of the show, you end up understanding what it is.
Yeah.
I do like Cobb, dude, though.
What's the time frame between when an anime is finished recording a dub and when it's finally released for public viewing?
Yeah, so and this can vary, but usually, especially with the simuldub stuff that we do, we get the materials from Japan, it gets adapted, and then the scripts are sent to the director, who then books the actors based on the line count and the length of the script. So usually it takes about 2 weeks right now, but that's after years of like honing the process. For something like My Hero Academia is actually incredible to me. We released that show dubbed the same day it's released subbed in Japan. Well, it's not released subbed in Japan, but in the same day it's released in Japan. Which is amazing. You know, I'm getting to see episodes and story beats from stuff that hasn't aired over there yet, that's nuts to me. And we did something similar way back with Space Dandy. And I think, hopefully, I don't know that it's tenable, but I think that's sort of what we're striving to do as we continue to foster these relationships with production companies.
So it's literally just 2 weeks after you're done dubbing it. Like, I imagined it being like a year or a couple months.
It used
Yeah.
to be.
Oh, totally.
Dude.
You'd record a whole slew of episodes for a DVD release, and then you'd have to forget about it for 8 months or a year or longer, and then it would release. But yeah, nowadays it's up on our streamings. Yeah, it's incredible.
You guys are getting faster.
And that's sort of a skill we've had to cultivate, because there are now very definite timelines. You know, you can't slow down on an episode and we can be like, all right, we'll just come in for an extra hour tomorrow and it'll be fine and we'll pick it up. You really gotta like hit your marks, come in ready to work, stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember when I got my first lead. I got it like in February, and they didn't announce it till September. Dude, and that was my first lead. I was so excited, but I couldn't even talk about it for almost a year. Man, it was rough. But now we have simuldubs, so much quicker now.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Well, sorry, we already had a question. Yes. So you asked about sure, other avenues of voiceover. I haven't expanded very far past anime. I do get booked for the occasional video game, but we don't have a whole lot of that kind of work around localized in Texas, at least.
Yeah.
Our markets are more definitely ADR, but if getting into agencies and stuff, there's more like commercial, audiobook, narration work,
And
promos and
sometimes
stuff.
web series.
Web series, that's true. The new media. Yeah, so I haven't expanded very far past that. I'd sure like to, but it's that's an endeavor of networking and finding the right people at the right opportunities, etc. Yeah, I'm definitely open to it. All right, so who was just? Yes. Sorry. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Who would win a singing competition? Pretty Krista or Aqua? So, Pretty Krista from Show by Rock, Aqua from Love Live Sunshine. Who would win?
We're all winners in the end.
Yes. I love both of my babies. Jacqueline and Johanne are both pieces of my heart. Oh gosh, I can't choose. They're both winners in my heart. That's the only answer I can give. I'm sorry. He's like slow clapping, like yes, yes. Thank you. I'm glad you like that answer. Yes. Yes.
For Justin,
Hi.
do you have any similarities or differences with your voiceover foundation and your voiceover with the team voiceover?
It's just an entirely different beast, you know. All the ADR work that I do with Funimation is there's almost like a rhythmic element to it because you have to match the words to the mouth movements. Bye, thank you. Have a great day. You have to match the video. You know, there's already parameters and constraints built into the work. But I find that kind of fun. For TFS stuff, it's totally the opposite. You know, they come with the script and it's just sort of like, okay, play.
Yeah.
That didn't quite hit the right mark. Can we try a different read to see if we hit the joke a little further on? And I there's pros and cons to each. I would say sometimes when I do work for stuff that doesn't have the video right in front of me, I can not make really strong choices because I'm sort of used to having stuff prescribed to me already. I really just leave it in the hands of the directors. They're always the most knowledgeable and most capable sources for whatever project they're working on, and I trust that they'll guide me. You know, I come there with the right voice. I'm trying to help them solve, the problem of having to cast someone, and I, in turn, trust them to guide me to what they want their product to turn out. But yeah, it's just different methods, different paces, different tempos. Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
What would you say out of everyone that you voice acted, you really
Anyone off the top of your head? Oh, oh yeah.
Johanne, because episode 5, I cried. Oh gosh, the emotions. Dude, the thing is, the message within that episode was, be your shining self, be who you want to be. And so I was just like, yes, queen, yes. Like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, and you can hear it. Like, I legit cried when I recorded for episode 5. And that was really when you get to get a feel for her character. and what she stands for and the message she brings. So definitely her.
Cool. I guess I would go with Izuku, just because he's a character that I've probably now spent the most time with. It's been 2.5 years now working on that show, and he feels like a very real character to me. His character has always felt like a real portrait of mental health in like a high school age. He's dealing with these very real, weighty high school problems that I remember having to try to parse when I was that age. Probably a lot of people's experiences like that. He deals with struggling to find his self-worth. He deals with people telling him that he's less than what he thinks he can be. People tell him to not shoot for lofty goals, try to achieve something a little lesser, because you can't succeed at what you want to do. And that all just felt very real to me. I wanted to make sure that I could make a portrait of this high school character who is really struggling with the same personality issues that a lot of us did growing up. So yeah, that's always been very meaningful to me as a character to work on, because there's so much that was already. He feels like a very real kid to me. So I tried to do my best to purvey that.
When you both first voice acted, what was your emotion? How did you react to your first studio voice acting?
I'm so sorry. Can you repeat the question one more time?
When you were first in the studio voice acting, what emotions did you guys have when you first did it?
You mean like nervousness, or like how we felt going into our first session?
Like all of it.
Oh, I was a mess.
Dude, me too.
I just felt horrible. I was like, they're never gonna call me in again.
That's
I'm
what I
doing
thought.
just the worst work of my life. They must be so embarrassed that they thought of me at all. I had a very long session for Seraph at the end, and it was the first episode is extremely emotional material. So I was playing, and first of all, I was playing a child version of the character I ended up playing. So we already had to set the voice higher than was a little expected. And I went through all that. It was my first time really trying to endeavor to match flaps in like scene work. I'd done bit parts and Walla and stuff and understood the tempo and the rhythm and the process of recording. It was the first time I really had to just hold my own in a scene. And we had to do take after take. They'd have to be like, the timing's all wrong, etc. So like, I definitely entered in a low confidence spot, but I just had to keep trucking on and get through the session as best as I could. And truly, no matter how you feel, if the director lets you leave at the end, you've done the job. You did it. And that's sort of how I felt. I had to leave it like that. And at that point, we didn't know Mikaila's character. We just knew something really terrible happened to him as a kid. And I left the session, and Jerry's like, you might come back one day for this show. I'm like, what? How? Did you not see what I just had? No! But he did. Oh, he did. Oh, yeah.
How did I feel during my first session? Well, I guess at my first audition, I was like super nervous, and I thought I would never be asked to come back ever again. But they had me come back. I'm glad they ended up liking me. But yeah, my first session was, I guess, my first session was a Walla session for Fairy Tale. And that was a blast because I love Fairy Tale. And then my first named role character was for Linda in Hyperdimension Neptunia, the animation. So, of course, I was super excited because I freaking love anime. So to be able to be a big part of it is huge, you know? So, of course, I'm fangirling. But you gotta stay professional, you know? When you go into the booth, you gotta be professional.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm gonna keep all the fangirling down. And keep it locked away in your heart until you get home. So that's usually how it is.
And then, I'm sorry to interrupt, but the session is almost at time.
Ooh.
So we've got time for maybe 1 or 2 more questions.
Lightning round. Yes!
The Boy and the Beast. That's a good movie. I love it. What animal companion would I have in real life?
choose wisely.
Right? Oh. I like foxes. They're cute. That's my answer.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Lightning strike. Kaka! Yes.
Which My Hero Academy character do you think would be the best friends with?
I want to be friends with Uraraka. She's so cool.
Oh, she's such a sweetie.
She's so cool. I want to be friends with Frobby too.
Oh, same.
But just because, like, she's the coolest in the whole world. So who wouldn't? Lightning. Kaka!
If you can't have caffeine or sugar, what do you do to maintain the maximum amount of energy when you come into the recording?
Oh.
Yeah. Well, you can. It's not to say you can't drink coffee before a session. You shouldn't.
You shouldn't, because the caffeine
You
dries
shouldn't
out
drink
your voice.
coffee alone, is what I should say. If you're planning on caffeinating yourself in any capacity, you also need to drink a ton of water.
Yep.
Just to counteract, because it dries you out, and then you're gonna hurt yourself.
Yeah.
And I drink a lot of coffee in my day-to-day life. It just I need it.
going.
Yeah, I genuinely need it, or else I'll just sleep all day. So yeah, it's a balancing act. You just learn from trial and error. Like, there have been times where I've definitely felt like I'm in the booth and not well hydrated, and I'm like, this is starting to be bad. I need to. Can I please just go get some water? But yeah, always hydrate. Bring water to your sessions. Don't be like me. And you're gonna be great.
Yeah, good answer.
One more lightning strike. Yes.
For
2 more. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
go
the-
ahead.
for you, Justin, when you were doing the eat this scene, was that you or was that the All Might's voice actor? And if it was you, can you please do the impression?
So I believe it was me in the final product. We had a recording, I think, of Chris saying it, but Conley wanted to see if I could do something, well enough that wasn't a totally break in character. So yeah, I think it was me, and it was a eat this.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
How long are you guys normally in the booth?
Oh, it depends.
Yeah, it's very variable.
Uh,
So what we get booked for is called the line count, and that varies based on the script. It's basically one line of text in our dialogue box counts as one line, and you tabulate that, and we have a formula that's like X lines means Y hours, and so and so reactions, which are like yeah, stuff like that. It takes less time to do more of them, so they'll calculate that as well. And then once you tabulate everything together, we get booked for our contract work. And it changes from week to week. It just kind of depends on how relevant your character is in that particular episode. If you play a character that is soft-spoken or shy or doesn't talk a lot, then you might be a major part of the show, but your line count might be really small, so you're only coming in for an hour or so. It varies. And they try to do a lot of Tetris work because we have so many actors coming in and out. So what may be booked for 3 hours is actually an hour with so-and-so, 15 minutes here, 5 minutes here, an hour and a half here. And that's basically how it goes down. That's the final lightning strike. The storm has passed.
yes.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you for coming.
I believe you have a Q&A tomorrow?
I do.
Maybe not.
It's at 12:30.
Woo!
12:30. Woo! See me at 12:30
Yes,
tomorrow.
and then we have autographs, I think, right after that.
We do.
So
We have-
yes,
Yeah.
there are still opportunities to come and see us and hang out, so please
yes.
do.
Yes.
Woo!
Thanks for coming.
Check the program, guys.
Also,